Can I just start it?
Yeah. I think, should we give it till 8:05 for everyone to join? Because I know there were a lot more people who had signed up.
Is that my laptop? And can you guys hear it? Okay.
Hi, is this better? Alrighty, guys, I think I will just get started with just how this info session is going to work and just basic rules for everyone to follow to make this go as smooth as possible. We will have a Q&A session at the end, but until then, if a question pops up while we are going through our slides, please feel free to use the chat option to enter any of your questions, and someone from our executive team will go ahead and answer the question. Can everyone hear me properly? Because I know someone had mentioned they were having a hard time. If you could just let me know in the chat, that would be great. Until we get to the Q&A session, the mics and videos for everyone will be disabled. And then once we get to that part of the presentation, we will enable everyone's mic so they can ask their questions. And right now, this session will be recorded. So for any of your friends or anyone who wasn't able to attend, we will definitely be able to pass along the recording for anyone who just wants to know what was talked about today. And yeah, so I think we will get started now. Looks like we have almost 100, or Hazalashni, do you think we should wait a little bit?
I think let's get started with intros, and hopefully by the time we're done with that and get to the meat part of it, we will everyone will have hopped on.
Amazing. Alrighty, Nupur, if you can get to the next slide. So I think the name of our event explains itself. We are the first official set of South Asian fashion shows that will be walking the runway during New York Fashion Week this year. This is the first time it's ever been done. We've definitely seen new South Asian inspired fashion shows across the country, whether it's like Lakme Fashion Week, South Asian Fashion Week in Vancouver, but there has never been something done at the global stage during New York Fashion Week, which is the mecca of fashion. And our executive team, we have hustled for many years to make this possible. We wanted that representation during the show because South Asian fashion is just so important to a lot of us, and we definitely value our culture. So we are presenting the first official South Asian New York Fashion Week this September. Nibur, can you proceed to the next slide? So there are different companies that are bringing this to you guys. We are partnering up with various different agencies, corporations, fashion brands to put this together. Our two main sponsors are Varel and Insight Social, and we will definitely talk about those in our executive team introductions. Nibur, next slide, please. So I am Shipra. I am the founder of South Asian New York Fashion Week. I come from the fashion journalism world and blogging world. I started off with my fashion blog in 2011. So please don't do the math because that just shows how old I am now, but been in the game for quite some time. I went through different career changes. This isn't something I do full time, but it's definitely my passion. And attending New York Fashion Week shows since 2013, I got to know the industry really well. I networked and I met a lot of sponsors, and a lot of my colleagues pushed me to create and found this event. It started off with a very simple conversation with just a random press colleague at the shows in 2013. And I was quite young at that time, so I didn't understand the gravity of what this event could be or just how to pull it together. So the years went by, the conversations kept going, and I was encouraged to officially apply for South Asian New York Fashion Week as a sect of New York Fashion Week. And we finally got the green light last year, and we have been go, go, go since then. We are just putting all our forces together to make this happen and make this be successful. So that's where we are right now, but we're really excited to bring this to everyone. So this is going to be the first official South Asian New York Fashion Week. It will highlight a bunch of different designers, and our other executive members will go more in detail about that, but just wanted to do a quick introduction of myself and how we got started. Ashni, I am going to hand over the mic to you.
Amazing. Thank you, Shipra. And I just want to say, I first talked to Shipra about South Asian New York Fashion Week over 5 years ago, or I think something along those lines. So she has been hustling like under the radar for 5 years to get this greenlit. And it's just such a big deal. So I'm personally really excited and super excited that you guys, there's so many of you that have shown interest in being involved. So just a little bit of a deeper breakdown of what South Asian New York Fashion Week is. It's going to be a week-long initiative officially sponsored by New York Fashion Week. And we'll be trying to bring together some of the top established and emerging fashion brands inspired by cultures across the Indian subcontinent. So basically what we're thinking is, you know, right now in the diaspora, so much of what the conversation is around bridal fashion. And we want to make sure we're kind of covering streetwear and resort wear and menswear and all the different types of fashion there is with a series of fashion shows. And we're really hoping to bring the vision and the art that South Asian fashion has to a global platform and make it more accessible to a global audience. And it's going to be the first of its kind because it's an official offshoot of New York Fashion Week. And this has not been done for any community so far. So this is a really big first step for not just our community, but for communities of color. And I think Hethel will add.
Yeah, thanks, Shipra. Thanks, Ashni. Super excited to be part of this. But our main focus is to bring just everyone in the South Asian community that is interested in fashion together. So this will include celebrities, influencers, different retailers. And as Ashni mentioned, it's not going to be just North America, but it's going to be the whole subcontinent of South Asia. So definitely want to also reach out to different designers and brands across the globe. And then we're also going to have like PR agencies, different media outlets, just anyone that is a fashion enthusiast and trendsetter. And it's all going to be in New York in September during New York Fashion Week. But we do want to have, as Ashley mentioned, not just like bridal, but dedicated days to menswear, streetwear. Also want to highlight sustainable fashion, since there is a huge rise going on currently in the South Asian fashion scale with that. But yeah, super excited. I know a lot of us here are huge fashion enthusiasts. So this will be a great way to connect and kind of see some of the other up and coming brands as well. And then just for more details about the event. So as I mentioned, it is going to be in New York City. It's going to be the same time as New York Fashion Week is. So the dates are September 8th to the 16th. We're going to have welcome and launch events along with press conferences, and then of course the shows. And most of the attendees are going to be media professionals, influencers, buyers, fashion elites, celebs, and we are estimating around 10K in attendees and just turnout in general. And we want to welcome this platform to all designers globally. And as Ashley mentioned, I mentioned, the themes are going to be varying day to day as well. And then I will have Shibra start. I mean, we already introduced Shibra, so if we want to, or I can go, I guess. So I am one of the other co-founders along with Shibra, and I'm also the Chief Operations Officer. So I work full-time in fintech, and then I've always just loved fashion and style. So I work part-time as a content creator, and then I'm also a fashion writer for Urban Asia. But yeah, I met Shibra a little bit over a year ago. And I've had the opportunity to meet all of the other co-founders recently, and I'm super excited to be part of this team, and then also meet some of the other people that are on the call as time goes on as well.
And I already spoke to, but I'm the Chief Strategy Officer. Obviously, as you know, I've been in contact with Shibra for a few years and built a really good relationship with her. I've also worked in the fashion space and blogging for about 5 years now, and I run my own social media agency and do branding and strategy consulting. And I'm also super excited to introduce Nupur, who is our Chief Marketing Officer. Nupur, if you want to introduce yourself, that would be great.
Yes, of course. Hi, everyone. My name is Nupur. I came to know Shibra recently, but from what I know so far, super excited to be working with her, and it's amazing that this is coming together for the first time ever. I'm actually currently full-time with Dillmill on the marketing team there. I'm a marketing director focused on lifecycle marketing and creative strategy, but obviously have always been involved in the South Asian space. Fashion is something that, you know, is exciting for a lot of us. So I'm happy to be a part of this team and also to meet all of you to help bring this to life.
Hi, my name is Charvi. I'll be working on partnerships, specifically brand partnerships. So by trade, I work in entertainment, specifically working in a partnerships role and doing deal negotiations at Paramount Global, formerly known as Viacom CBS. So I'm really excited. And I've known Shibra my entire life, and she's been talking about this moment for so long. So I'm so excited to help support her in this.
And I will go ahead and introduce Zainab. I don't think she was able to make the call tonight, but she is our Chief Digital Officer, and she owns ZK Captures, which I know a lot of people in the South Asian space have contacted her for her graphic designs and website management and creation skills. She will be handling all our graphics and promotional materials, and will be working and handling our website. So if there's ever any IT issues, Zainab is the girl to go find. And I just want to really quickly thank the whole executive team. We are a team of women, especially South Asian women, and we definitely have been so driven with our passions, and I'm just so honored to be working with each and every one of you. And it's been such a pleasure to see us all come together and put in the work to make this possible. So thank you to all. If you want to go to the next slide.
I can talk about this one really quickly. So we've seen a lot of DMs coming in about, a lot of you are probably content creators or sort of involved with other South Asian brands. And we've received a lot of DMs about collaborations and whatnot. So just wanted to say that we are not ignoring you. We've had actually an overwhelming response to this whole thing. So just keep an eye out on our social pages. We're actually going to be creating some sort of other inquiry form where you guys can submit all those requests and pitch your ideas for collaborations and whatever it is. And, as we continue to build out our teams and plan this event, we will definitely be in touch and respond to everyone that we can in a timely manner. Shipra, did you want to add anything to that?
Yes, so especially with our collaborations, those will come more towards the summertime and closer to the event. Right now, we are focused more on just planning out the events and logistics of Fashion Week itself. So we will announce the collaborations on our social media pages. So please make sure to follow those. It's SANYFW on both TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So we'll add it into the chat as well. So if anyone wants to, who hasn't already followed, follow us there, because we will be announcing collaborations as we go. Ideally, we will be looking for collaborations worldwide, but for our main ones, we are looking for people based out of New York City because it will be easier to coordinate and handle. But besides that, Nupur will probably be handling just the management of those collaborations. So we will be announcing as we go. So one of the main questions we've gotten asked is who we're looking for, what type of candidates. We definitely want to fill up our team with people who align with our mission and values and see the importance of this event. Our candidate profile is very much like the millennial profile, I like to say. We are driven, we are goal-oriented, we value the South Asian culture and what the fashion entails. There's an interest in fashion. You don't necessarily need to have years of fashion experience, but you definitely need to understand how the industry works and have done your research in how Fashion Week works. Because the one thing I will say, with Fashion Week, it is a whole entity in itself. It's not like your typical fashion shows across the globe. So you definitely need to do your research and understand how Fashion Week works and how the sponsors and buyers and everything play in. You're responsible and you're a self-starter. This is our first time planning this out, so it is more at the startup level. So we are looking for people who are just driven in their own and are able to handle their tasks individually. So that's basically the type of applicants and candidates we're looking for to fill our team up with. Ashni, Hetal, I don't know if you wanted to add on to this, but feel free to. I think, okay. Ready, I think we're good. We can move on to the next slide.
I can talk about the beginning really quickly. So these are just a few of the positions that we have available, but just wanted to let you guys know that obviously as we get closer to the event, as we start developing everything, we're probably going to need more help. So these are sort of like the longer term positions available right now. And then I will let Ashni and Hetal talk about some of the shorter term positions as well. On the marketing side specifically, we are looking for a marketing director, someone to just sort of help be like my right arm in this whole thing and sort of help manage marketing as a whole for the event. Definitely looking for social media managers. So if you have experience on the social side, please reach out. Definitely for Instagram and TikTok. Looking for a community manager to sort of just engage in various groups and pages, and also set up Facebook events or event pages as needed. Looking for a content strategist. If you're good at copywriting, you're super organized, and you have a way of speaking to people, this is probably for you, just so we can get all of our communication across in a timely manner and in an effective manner. And then more positions may be added on a rolling basis. And then I will let Ashni talk about the next one.
So I will also be looking to add some capacity to help kind of liaise with a lot of the partnerships that we're working on. So a lot of bigger brand sponsorships and corporate partnerships, just to kind of manage the communications, make sure they're getting everything they need and everything is in order. And the production team and the marketing team are getting all the information from the brand. And we'll also be doing the same for designers. So working with designers across the world and India, and someone who's comfortable kind of working globally to get all the information and walk them through the process of how the show is going to work and market their line and their designs in a way that is good for them and good for South Asian New York Fashion Week. So those will be kind of the main priorities. And I'll also be looking for a director that will kind of manage, oversee a lot of the strategic partnerships. And I will pass it over to Hetal.
Yeah, so for me, I'm looking for people that the roles will be anything pertaining to the actual runway shows, booking different venues, not only for the runway shows, but also for the after parties and then set designs. So ideally having an event planning manager along with like a production manager for the long-term positions. And then closer to like the summertime, that's when we're going to be looking to book talent, whether it's the models, makeup artists, anything pertaining to production. So that's going to be not necessarily right now, but that will be coming up, and we'll have more updates in our social media for those positions as well.
And I just wanted to add on to what the open positions are. I know Nupur mentioned it earlier, but we will have short-term positions that we will open up in the summertime, which will entail a lot of the production type roles, and then any positions that we would need in terms of helping out with set design, just overall logistics for the week of Fashion Week, and then interns to handle communications during that time. But then we do have long-term positions that we will open up relatively quickly, which we will talk about in the next slide. But those positions will pretty much help us plan out the event, and they will fall under your respective executive team members. So if it is a marketing position that's open, which the breadth of our positions are that are open currently for long-term roles are within marketing. So that you will all report to Nupur, whether you're working on strategy work, that will all fall under Ashni. Hetal will take over any production, logistics type roles for Fashion Week. Charvi will handle the client relationship managers regionally. So if you are a business that wants to partner up with Fashion Week at a regional level, whether it's a small business, you will all fall under Charvi. And then for myself, for the CEO, I am looking for an executive assistant to just handle communications and organization for our events and meetings. But we will talk about that application process and timeline in the next slide. So, Nupur, please. So our job descriptions will go live this coming Friday. We will put up whether it is on our, we will put them up on all our socials. So you will have some time to look over what each open position is, and if that aligns with you, you'll have time to put together your application. our applications open on April 8th, and they will be on a rolling basis. So we will interview as we get those applications. Our application, just the structure of it will be very straightforward. There will be a few questions, an opportunity for you to upload your resume, CV, portfolio. And then we will go through all of that. There's not anything super specific needed at the time. If you are interested, you will be able to just apply through our website once it launches. And then we will begin our interviews on April 18th. And again, they will be on a rolling basis. So as we get the applications, someone from our team will be reaching out to you to coordinate our interview schedule with you. The interview structures will be a panel type interview with 1 to 3 of our executive team members, and mostly, so if you are interviewing for a marketing position, it will be myself, Nupur, and maybe Ashni, and we will coordinate with whoever will be using that position the most. And you will get a schedule for your interview prior to it being scheduled, and you will have the opportunity to just reach out to us if you have any questions prior to that. And then once we interview you, we will probably take about a week to a week and a half to get back to you with an offer if we think you will be a good fit for our team. And we just really want to highlight that if at this point you aren't a good fit for the team, we definitely don't want to lose touch with you, because again, there will be positions that will be opened up as time goes on. So we may find another position that works best for you. So we would definitely want to stay in touch, and we want to find a fit for everyone applying within this week. So definitely stay in touch, and please don't be disheartened, because we really are going to put in all our effort to make this as personable as possible. And then, yeah, so if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any of the exec members before the applications go live. Awesome. So this is just a basic contact information for us. Right now we do have the designer email address, but if you have specific email addresses, please feel free to email us at info@SANYFW.com. One of the exec members will add that into the chat as well, and our social medias are all under the same handle. Please feel free to reach out to us. We have been getting crazy amount of interest, and we apologize if we haven't been able to get to you. We're not trying to ignore you. It's just been difficult to kind of coordinate conversations individually with everyone interested, but definitely do reach out to us, because we will love to answer any questions you guys may have. And with that, I will let, if any of the other execs have anything else to add, or else we can open it up for the Q&A. Alrighty, I think I am going to open it up for the questions and answer period. Just give me 1 second. I'm not the best with Zoom. Okay, so I think since this is a webinar format, if you do have a question, feel free to raise your hand and we will let you speak.
I'm also seeing people type them into the Q&A, so I can also just read them out loud if we want to go down a few of them. We should be able to see it at the bottom next to the chat.
Okay, yeah. Amazing.
Yes. So Alicia's asking, there are no silly questions here, by the way. She said this might be a silly question, but are the positions paid or more on a volunteer basis?
So we will Currently now all our positions, they will be intern positions available since our higher level positions have already been filled. We will definitely be compensating you with tickets to the events and accommodations during that week. And if anyone knows anything about New York Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week shows run at about, if you are going, like up to like $15,000 just to attend the week of shows. So we will be accommodating for tickets for everyone who is a part of our team. And then, let's see.
I think there's tons of questions about runway models. I think there's a few, if you want to take that, Shipra.
Did you want to talk about that? Because
yeah, so I think we'll have more information closer to the summertime, because we also will be working with designers as well. But as of now, we are looking for people that have some experience professionally or assigned with an agency. And we will have just like more in-depth details, I think, closer to probably July, August. Is that correct, Shipra?
Yeah. So, and then also with models, a lot of the designers we will be working with work with their own agencies, so they may come with their own models, but for our other shows, we will definitely be doing casting calls as the designers are rolled out. And there will definitely be modeling opportunities for our influencer collaborations, because I know that was a big question we got on our social medias. So if you are an influencer and are looking to collaborate or work with us, those opportunities will also be put up on our socials and websites. So definitely once our website launches, there will be a feature for newsletters. So please subscribe to our newsletters, because most of this information and casting calls will be on there. And in terms of models, we definitely are looking, since this is at that like New York Fashion Week global scale, we are looking for models that ideally are already aligned to an agency or have professional modeling experience. But for our social medias and our like TikTok and Instagram collaborations, we definitely will be looking for smaller scale or emerging models. So there will be opportunities for everyone, but please look out for our casting calls to find what opportunity fits you best. Okay, and
people are also asking about the Google form that they might have filled out a couple of months ago, and where we are standing with those.
So those Google form responses, if you filled it out, thank you so much. We actually recorded and took note of all of them. So those applications have been noted. Once the formal applications have been put out, we will definitely see if there's extra information needed from those who have applied. But just to keep things going in a like a straight trajectory, we definitely would appreciate if everyone can just fill out the application on the website, so we don't lose contact with everyone. If that will be a problem for you to like refill out again, please reach out to any of us, because we will definitely love to like coordinate that with you and just help you fill that out, or just transfer your answers from the Google Sheet. The reason the Google form, it just didn't, we had way too much interest than we had expected, so it just crashed on us, and it wasn't able to handle just the influx of applicants. So we are extremely sorry that we weren't able to get to everyone, but it was quite difficult with just the amount of responses we got. So website doesn't seem to be working. So our website will have an official launch very shortly. So that's why our application dates are pushed out till April 8th, because we will be doing a whole website launch right before the applications go live. So again, with this subscribing to the newsletter, that will be on our website, so you can go ahead and do that. But for Instagram, it is at, our handle is SANYFW, so you can make sure you just follow us and subscribe to whenever we post, because in the next few weeks, we will definitely be posting up a lot of just the jobs that we are opening up and what we are looking out for. Sorry, just give me 1 second. I'm gonna. So someone asked, Shireen asked, how many hours a week do the positions require? All these positions are part-time. We realize that everyone has a billion things going on nowadays. So we do require a 20-hour commitment. It will be less on some weeks, more on some weeks. So we are capping it out at 20 hours. We definitely don't want to overburden anyone who joins our team, because again, we realize like everyone has a million and one responsibilities. So that, I hope that answers that question. Neha asked any additional info for content creators. So for content creators, I will have Ashni and Hathal add on to this after I'm done speaking, but we are looking for people, again, who just align with our values. It's not going to be how many followers someone has or how big of an influencer or content creator you are. We just want someone who can add value to the designers that we are going to be working with. And we will be posting up the casting call for content creation, creator collaborations on our Instagram page as we go. Ideally, for those you know, collaborations, we do hope for hope to work with people who are in the New Jersey, New York area, so it will be easy to coordinate. But again, if there is opportunities across the country, we would love to work with people. I hope that answers some of your questions, but I will pass it along to Ashni and Hathal, who can add more to what we're looking for in terms of content creators.
Yeah, and I also think Nooper shared an email address. So we're also looking, if you have like a pitch that you want to send us, we'll constantly be looking and checking for that as well. So it's not just limited to like those calls. As those pitches come in and something really stands out, we'll definitely reach out to you as well with that. I can reshare that. But it's not just like a one and done. It'll be like ongoing as the summer months start with like the different designers that are coming on. So yeah, so we're excited about that. And then I think there was a question about virtual. And I think once, I think each person can kind of answer on their team. I just know for like my team, when it comes to just the venue booking for that production role, I would probably want someone that is located in New York, so they can come see the venues with me and kind of talk that out. I think some of the other ones can be virtual, but I think when you go through the interview process, you can ask the person that you're interviewing, and I think they'll give you a more better idea of what they're looking for that particular position.
I will just chime in here and say that, yeah, marketing can pretty much be virtual. So do not hesitate to apply, even if you're not located in New York. And I'm seeing questions come in both in the chat and in the Q&A. Someone did ask, what are the qualifications to be a designer at the show, and how established is a designer expected to be in order to present at the show? That was John V's question.
So we are looking for both emerging and established designers. I will let Ashni talk about it more, but it is open to everyone. And Ashni, if you want to go into more of what we're looking at.
Yeah, so we're going to take applications from designers, and the process is quite similar to what New York Fashion Week does, which is they take applications and there's a registration fee for designers to showcase, and we'll be doing a couple of different types of shows. So if you're an emerging designer, it'll be at a lower cost, but you'll be showing with a few other emerging designers. And then we have a more established designer package in where you can showcase on your own. And then there's a headlining designer for some of the really established designers. And yeah, so there will be a few different packages. And I can send over my email if you're interested, and feel free to reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions. And also, I know there are a couple of questions about the website, and Trippa, I know you mentioned this, but I just want to say again, the website is coming, so please be on the lookout for that on the first week of April, and the newsletter will also be around that time. We're just, wrapping up onboarding our team and getting all of this off the ground. So definitely the best way to stay in contact with everything that's coming up in the next few weeks right now is Instagram. That's just going to be how we are communicating with everyone. So definitely follow us there, and we will update you guys once the website and everything else is live.
And then everyone asking about just people that are working full-time. I also work a full-time job, sometimes like 9 to 9. So it's not necessarily going to be during Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. But if you do have time, like if you get hired for the role and you have certain responsibilities that you're in charge of, if you have time during Monday to Friday, like during lunch, and you want to get it done, that's fine. But even like most of the meetings we do, we definitely coordinate well ahead of time. Weekends are when I get a lot of everything done. But I try to like make times throughout the day. So don't feel like because you have a full-time job, you cannot be involved. You definitely can be involved. And we're actually looking for that hustle mindset where you are collaborative, working in a team, but you also have responsibilities that you can get done on your own. And you don't necessarily need hand holding. So definitely don't let that hinder you in applying for any of these positions.
Yeah, and I just want to quickly add on to what Hethel just said. We are a team that is quite flexible. We love to work around each other's work schedules. So we understand when things happen and everyone has responsibilities. So we will keep that in mind. So we will never have this be a burden on anyone who is, a part of our team. So definitely we'll be coordinating with just your whoever your manager will be. So it'll be either one of us and the rest of the team to just make sure that we can account for everyone's schedules and time commitment. And then I think Namrata had asked in the chat if we are open to college interns. Yes. So if you are a collegiate intern, we would love to have you on our team if you fit any of our open positions, and we can offer letters for your colleges saying that you interned if that is something you need in terms of college credit. And then, so I think someone did answer the question about virtual roles. I see Shireen asked that, but yeah, we do have virtual positions open. So if you aren't located in the New York City area for some of our positions, we will definitely consider you. Our Chief Marketing Officer, Nupur, she's all the way in San Fran, while the majority of us are East Coast based. So there will be opportunities for people not in New York City to be a part of this, but for more of our in-person type positions. So if you are in production and logistics under Hethel, those most likely you will need to be locally or located locally. But if you are a social media intern, I think you can be wherever you want in the world, and we would love to have you a part of our team if you are a good fit.
I'm also seeing a lot of questions about photography and videography opportunities and partnerships.
Awesome. Yeah, so for videography and photography partnerships, we are looking to collab with any photographers and videographers. A lot of our stuff will be published as the shows go on, and just as we plan out our shoots and everything. Our Zainab will be handling our photographers and videographers, and we will be doing we will be posting about opportunities for our shoots, asking for photographers and videographers. So if you're in the area and you're available on any of those days, we would love to work with you. We do have a few resident photographers on our team who have been helping us get started. So we will definitely be reaching out to you if you're interested in that. And then I think that so during the fashion week, the days of events, we will have a bunch of photographers from publications, but then we will also be needing in-team photographers to just capture the event for our side too. So please let us know like where you fit in if you are interested in either of those positions. All right, sorry, I'm just trying to get through all of these.
People were also wondering about stylists along with photography.
Yeah, so stylist, definitely for our collaborations on social media, we will be looking for stylists to work with the designers to style the outfits that we will be showcasing. And let me just kind of backtrack a little bit. I don't think we really went into detail about how the collaborations work, but basically for our designers that will be walking the runway, we will be collaborating with them to just kind of showcase their work on our socials before to promote both the event and their designs. So those are what the collaborations will entail. We will definitely be doing a lot of like TikTok and like Instagram collaborations for that. And we will have most likely Nupur and Ashni handling just the production of all of those. So you will hear more from them, but yeah, so sorry, I lost track of Nupur. What was that question?
Oh, I think people were just asking, will you be looking for stylists? So,
oh yeah, so yes, for the
yeah.
stylists.
Yeah.
And then so when would photographers apply? Would this be the second round in the summer? We will definitely be having more of a rolling opportunity for photographers. So we may need some for a shoot in like the next month. So just keep an eye out for that. It's hard to kind of organize exactly when we need photographers and when we don't, because a lot of these collaborations will come randomly to us. So just please keep an eye out for that. If you are a photographer, I think the best thing that you can do is if someone, one of the exec team members can just write out Zainab's email in the group, just email Zainab with like your portfolio, and we will like coordinate with you just so we can keep in touch. So will there be South Indian fashion representation? Of course. This is not going to be any region specific. If you identify as South Asian, we will definitely be representing you. We are going to make sure we do a good job just amongst all our execs to make sure we're being inclusive of all South Asian cultures. It is a vast region, so we don't want to leave anyone out, and we will make this as inclusive as we can and are going to be open for conversations if we aren't doing the best job at it. But South Indian fashion will definitely be represented at this event in various ways. So whether it is walking the runway or just at our pop-up shops throughout the week, we will be representing South Indian fashion. If someone has experience, will the position still be an intern position? I'm 32 years old, so being an intern may not be a fit. That makes sense, of course. Yeah, so if someone stands out and has an immense amount of experience, we will be working with you directly to just coordinate what a higher position will entail, and just speaking with you about more of those opportunities. So that completely makes sense, and I think that will be at a one-on-one basis. So if we do see that someone has enough experience to bring to our team at a higher scale, we will definitely have those conversations. So someone also asked about photography opportunities and partnerships. If you can just let us know in the chat if you need more clarifications, someone will answer that. So yeah, again, long-term positions are not only open to just people in the New York City area. You can be global if you're able to work at the Eastern Standard Time. That's, I guess, our only requirement there. Will you have a height requirement for the runway shows like most? No. So one of the things that we are trying to do, we are trying to break out of those typical normatives for all our for models during New York Fashion Week, and we want to make this an inclusive platform. So we will be highlighting people of all body types, of all skin tones, all abilities. So you don't have to fit into that heteronormative standard for New York Fashion Week. So that is one thing that I think we are trying to really emphasize that we are an inclusive platform. Kavya asked, are smaller platforms able to cover the shows? I don't think I understand what you mean. So if you can just go ahead and add more details to that question, I would love to answer that. Okay, yes. So for smaller, I think you meant publications, but like if you are a publication at a smaller scale, there will be opportunities for you to cover the event and be invited to be a part of the press. But we definitely will have larger publications at the show, highlighting the majority of the events and the press conferences. So yes, to working with current college students, we will definitely provide letters for college credit. So if you are a clothing label based in the US, you will follow that process that Ashni had mentioned earlier for designers to apply. You don't need to be big and established. We are working with emerging designers and at the smaller scale. So Ashni, if you want to just reemphasize that process, I will hand it over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Shipra. So just to clarify, we're looking for designers in bridal, sustainable fashion, streetwear, menswear, resort wear, everything you can think of. And for designers from all across the South Asian subcontinent and across the diaspora. So like, UK, Canada, Kenya, South Africa, anywhere that we can think of that is fashion that is inspired by the South Asian culture, we want to be able to highlight. To apply and be a designer showcasing at South Asian New York Fashion Week, we will be kind of emulating the application process from New York Fashion Week. Designers will apply at one of 3 tiers, emerging, established, or headlining designers. And for emerging designers, you'll showcase with a few other emerging designers. For more established ones, you'll get a more dedicated space, and then headlining ones get their own show with some additional benefits and ways to showcase their designs. And there are different registration fees based on which tier you choose to apply to.
Amazing, thank you. And then, so someone else asked, dumb question for those of us who do not work in fashion, is there a Fashion Week 101 to understand how it really works? Most of us, like me, just think it's a fashion show. So yeah, there's definitely opportunities. One thing that we will be doing on our socials is just highlighting how Fashion Week works and just kind of giving a deep dive, like I guess, expose experience on the inner workings of Fashion Week. So you will definitely be able to learn a lot through our socials. If you don't already, I know Hetal, Ashni, and myself, we do come from the fashion world during Fashion Week in New York City. So please follow us on our personal pages as well, because we will talk more about Fashion Week itself and just how the fashion industry works. There is a lot to it. Yeah, it is not just a fashion show. It is a whole production that entails like a lot of different businesses and corporations and a lot of different processes. So we will definitely address what Fashion Week is on our Instagram pages and our blogs and newsletters. So that will be some of the content we will push out in our newsletters and blog. So I hope that answered that. Okay. Shaylin, do you guys want to, I also just want to do like a time check. Is our exec team members okay to just kind of go over an extra few minutes or keep this going until we answer all the questions? Yeah, okay, awesome. So Shaylin asks, I work for a company called Ruckus Avenue, which is an artist management company in LA, based out of Jersey City. Are you guys looking to have music artists as part of this show? So yes, we are. There is an event during the show that will highlight artists. So that is something that we unfortunately can't release in detail right now, but please keep in touch with us because we will love to talk to you more about that. So if you're an artist, a performer, those will be discussed in more detail in the next few months. So is there an established amount of emerging designers and established designers that will be showcased during New York Fashion Week? So yeah, we will have a good amount. We unfortunately can't disclose any names right now because of just legal purposes, but I think everyone who is going to be involved with the show will be really happy with who turns out during New York Fashion Week. I
think there was a question that we missed on philanthropy and bringing awareness on many levels. So we're definitely going to get involved with that. We don't have full details yet, but stay tuned. I think there's some causes that are also close to our hearts personally that we want to talk about and incorporate into this. But yeah, we will have that more information about that on our Instagram page and socials as well.
Yeah, so like Hetal mentioned, we do have a lot of causes close to our heart, and especially because this platform, we aren't doing it for any selfish reason. We do want to bring this event to just highlight our culture and bring awareness to the beauty of what South Asian culture is and how diverse it is. But we also want to do this with good open hearts, and we want to give back to our community in any way we can. So we will be aligning with a lot of different philanthropies and charities across the world that kind of fits our mission and our values. And we will definitely be collaborating with them and just working with them to help them out as much as we can. So will South Asian New York Fashion Week need designers, musicians? Yes, we will. Again, that is for an event that we can't really disclose right now. So please keep in touch with us because those opportunities will be released as we go. So who will attend South Asian?
I am seeing a lot of questions just about, do you need experience in fashion and marketing? And I know you've already kind of talked about it, but now that I see more coming in, if you want to touch on that one more time. There seem to be people from a lot of different backgrounds.
Yep, so you definitely need to have an interest in it, and if you have experience, that will be ideal. we have, our team comes from various different backgrounds, so you don't have to have that as your primary gig, as so to speak, but definitely some interest and some experience would be best. And then see if there's anything else we haven't.
I think we got through the majority.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing a lot of repetition. So the other thing to just pay attention to is, like we mentioned, our socials, but also if you have questions, knowing what our positions are, if you want to reach out to us individually, like more than happy to answer some of those questions. Because I don't think there's anything that we haven't covered.
Yeah, and then I think the big thing that I will say, so if one of the execs can just go ahead and type out like all our individual Instagrams again. So if there's like a position that entails you know, a specific exec, you can follow that executive team member. And then our socials again, because we will be posting a lot of our information on there, as well as information about our website launch. And we will keep a record of all the questions that were asked during this info session, and type them out into a newsletter, and attach this recording for anyone who has missed it, so they can go back and look for any of these answers. And then definitely, I mean, so once our website launches, things will be more at a faster pace. We will have all our information, all the applications, all the information related to the shows, the job posting. So definitely keep an eye out for that, and please subscribe to our newsletter, because we will have positions that open up as time goes on. So that is something that you know, we can't really say. We can't really predict right now with what will happen, but that will be something that will be answered in our newsletters. And then if any of the other I think we answered, would you need people with technology background? I mean, so most of our positions right now that are open are mostly for people with you know, the fashion marketing experience. But if you have any translational skills that can transfer over to what positions are available, and you come from a technology background, that would be great. But for more of our tech-based roles, Zainab will be posting about what she needs. So whether that's for like graphic design, just website management, creation, she will be handling that for tech-specific roles. And I think I'm just going to do a quick look at the chat and just make sure that we got to all the questions. So can someone just confirm they got all our Instagram links? And I think Charby, you have to add yours. Amazing. And then, okay, I think we got everything. So if there isn't any pressing questions, we will end this call now. And this, again, has been a recorded session, so we will be pushing it out on our socials. And sorry, there was just one question that came in that I think we should address. So the applications will go live on our website, but the website launch will happen on Instagram, and that information will be on Instagram. So the applications themselves will be on our website once it launches, but the information on when that launch happens will be on Instagram, if that makes sense. But yeah, besides that, I just really want to thank everyone for joining this call and sticking with us and being patient with us. This is our first time doing it, so we're trying to be as organized as possible, but the amount of interest we've gotten has just been so humbling, and we are just so grateful for everyone. And just want to thank you all again. And then I will pass over the mic to the rest of the execs if they just want to say a closing remark, and we will let you guys have the rest of your night back. So Hetal, I'm going to pass it on to you.
Sorry, I was on mute. Thank you everyone for attending and joining us. I know there's probably going to be a lot of questions as time goes on, so don't hesitate to reach out. We have a breadth of information and we're always happy to share. And I'm super excited about this. So happy to be with this incredible group of women that love fashion and want to bring this, and looking forward to just seeing more representation in our community on a global platform. And I will hand it over to Ashni.
Thank you all for being here on your Sunday evenings. We know how big of an ask that was. And I'm personally looking forward to working with all of you and just opening up the fashion industry to a lot of new faces and finding ways that we can all work together.
Nipper, if you want to say something, and then I'll pass it to
you guys have taken my words in the sense, like similar sentiments. Super excited to meet everyone, you know, get this thing kicked off. Yes, if you guys are interested in any of the marketing positions, those will again be mostly virtual. Feel free to reach out to me on my socials, and yes, just keep an eye out on our Instagram because we will be sharing all of our updates there.
And Charby.
Yeah, same thing. I'm really excited to work with everyone. I know I've already received a bunch of requests, so feel free to DM me about like anything partnerships based. And I'll pass it off to Shipra.
Amazing. Thank you all so much. And yeah, please keep in touch, and we will definitely be passing on more information on our social media. So please follow all our execs on our personal Instagrams as well as SANYFW for more information. And thank you guys so much, and have a great night. Bye.